Okay, so damage control in the crack becomes the priority once that happens. Now, I'm already at a very thin cross section right there, so I'm gonna take down the ends a little bit just to even it out. And not be aggressive on the tip for sure. Yeah, this is hard down here. Very hard material there. Now let's see. It probably only goes in about a 1/32 of an inch or a millimeter. It probably only goes down about a millimeter. So I still got some good thickness, but I have to be very careful. That kind of stuff opens up easily. Everything else looks okay. Alright, so that's my first priority. I'm just gonna pick at it. Now, does this rock sometimes have internal cracks like that? Yep. Sometimes, but I'm not going to assume that it was the rock this time. So I think you can see what I'm doing. Just picking at it, reducing the width, but also keeping an eye on the edge. Make sure it doesn't get too bulky when I'm trimming it down. Why does it matter? If the edge is too bulky, you end up having a lot of mass on the edge, and then you have a mindset that, oh, I need to hit it really hard because I have a big mass on the edge, and then you end up hitting way too hard. So I hit that last flake, I hit right next to that crack, and it took it down, took the surface down, so it's just barely there now. So hopefully all I need to do is pressure flake over it, see if I can get rid of it. So just brushing the edge, looking for opportunities, getting rid of the weak spots after I did that pass of percussion. Just taking down the weak areas, see what develops. And you can see just by doing that, I've got a platform opportunistically right near that crack. Right there. I'm going to pressure flake into there and see if I can get under that crack. How did I learn to do this? I don't know. This is just the way I do it. I did not learn it from anybody. Well, I pressure flaked, but it didn't go anywhere. See, I took a pressure flake off right there. It did not fan out like I thought it was going to. Try it one more time in that same area, this time with a more gusto. Okay, the edge is collapsing. Okay, so same thing again. Take back the whole edge. You're gonna have to do it anyway. That way I can get a better platform. Obviously it needs to be more stout or something. See, I just kind of bevel that. Remove the weak area, see what develops. Now it doesn't look too bad. I think I can pressure flake over the top of the crack on this next pass. I'll just do a pass on the whole edge. How's that? Trying to use the ridge from the previous flake to run these flakes. Yeah, they're not going in very far, so but that's good enough. I'm making sure that these flakes will run free. Oops, still not stout enough. The edge is still not. Still not stout enough. It's crushing on me. All right. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Better, but it's a lot of pressure. Yeah, that edge needed to be abraded a lot. Now, how do you do this with antler? Well, definitely not by abrading a lot. It's usually just by isolating the platforms. You can isolate platforms for pressure too. Alright, here we go. I'm going to be right over the top of that. Right over the top of that crack. And of course, the edge right near it is very weak. It could be because it has crushing along with the cracking. Just don't use steel, man. You won't get that. Yeah, but then it wouldn't be a good video. It wouldn't be a learning opportunity. Yeah. Yeah, they won't know how to do this. Will you? I won't be able to show off the pressure flaking. I had to go through weeks of wrist pain to build up the forearm muscles or tendons or whatever to do a pass like that on tough material. This is raw. Although it got easier as it went up, this is better up here than there. It still required a lot of just pure force. So I think that crack is controlled. I don't see, all I see is a remnant. There's no actual crack there anymore. Okay, all right, let us finish this. Brushing away the weak areas. See what develops. What is developing? Anything? Yeah, it's kind of wonky. You guys don't want to see a wonky, finished out biface. You want to see perfectly straight. I know you do. Why? Well, it's because everyone wants to make Marcos points. Yeah, there's no sense in making anything else. No sense in making a point that used to be wonky back in the day. We only want to make unwonky points these days. Like the Marcos, perfectly straight edges. That's all we want to do. That's it. Well, I'm going to do it for this video, just for you guys. Try to straighten that out. Just because I know that you like only focusing on one style of edge. It's got to be straight. One style only. Monoculture. So what did I do? Series of step fractures. Why did I do that? Well, we'll see in a minute. See you in a minute. Okay. Yeah. It's not too good. Thought I'd try to be sneaky. Ooh, I almost got it. See, if that fanned out just right, I would have taken that out. But as luck would have it, it didn't fan out wide enough. So, well, there's no other way to deal with it because I'm not going to overshoot this. I'm not going to try that. You just take back the edge until you hit that, and then you can knock it off. Maybe. Let me see. I could try for a long flake, but then I'm going to hit it with the same amount of force as I did before that caused that other crack. That's a lot of force to get a flake to go across all that way. Now I can make the base flat, and that'll give me a platform to go up and again try to fan out, take out that step fracture. So I think that's what I'll do. Not much choice there. It's already thin. Trying to thin out a thin point is the hardest thing in flint knapping. I don't know, it's dicey. This is going to be dicey. already lost quite a bit of mass. You noticed? Yeah, the surface is not convex enough. I can't hit it. I'm not going to be able to hit a flake into that area well enough yet. Okay. Would they just leave those in back in the day? Yes, they would. Especially if you're just throwing it at something and not using it to cut your dinner. You don't want bacteria getting into your food, but if it's just being thrown at something, not a big deal. All right. Okay, we cross our fingers. Did it do it? Almost. Almost. See if I can get into there and cheat. I can pick that off. Let's see. Here we go. I'm going to try to pick at that. There it goes. Close enough. I just set this on the face of that step and push it right off. Nice thin tip. And thank goodness it's steel, because copper would have bent. Right? Right. Okay, so now we're back at what am I going to do with it? What am I going to make now? I don't know. Something with a bunch of serrations. Take another hour on this point. Yeah? No. No big serrations on this one, or no bunches of serrations. I'm just regularizing the edge, see where I'm at. I told you I was going to straighten these edges, so that's what I'm going to do. That looks pretty straight. That looks pretty straight. See how that works out? See what I did? No, you missed it. I didn't explain every step. It just all of a sudden magically got straight. Yeah, you missed it. Gotta rewind the video. Watch it again. That's the beauty of it. That's why I make videos, so that if someone asks me, how did you do that? Can you try that again? I'm sitting in the nap-in and I'm working on it, and I said, could you do that again or do something similar because I missed it? Well, I can try, but it's much better if you just watch my videos, and then you can just rewind. because I cannot attempt to duplicate what I just did really fast without you noticing. So am I going to do a nice neat little pass like this on this side? No. That pass required a lot of napper's crampage. I gotta stick my finger out. A lot of times I gotta stick my finger out or my knuckle will hit the edge like it did earlier today. If it's a difficult edge, I'm holding it with these 3 fingers instead of all 4. I could hold it lower like this, but for some reason it's too wobbly. I gotta be right up next to it. Right up next to the tip. Okay. Maybe it's just me. Okay, so it's pretty regular. Let's see. Still need to thin down that base a little bit. Still dicey. Let's see if it did it. Yes. I was hoping to get that lump. It was dicey because sometimes they dive in, those long flakes from the base. Sometimes they dive in. As you know. Man, it's hard down at the base of this thing. I'm going to try to clear this mess out before I notch it. Okay. See, we did it. Close enough. Yeah. Close enough. Is it translucent? Kind of, sort of. It's not like the nice root beer stuff. Okay, so what kind of point is like this where I can preserve the corners? Because there's a lot of points where I would have to trim back the corners, but I'm trying to think of one that doesn't. Some of the bell points have corners like this. Should I try for the bell? Might as well. Might as well try for a bell. Okay, so I just gotta trim trim the base. There's a lot of variation in the bell points, so I can preserve these corners and call it a variation, bell variant. Or maybe not even a variant, maybe just a regular bell. Or Calf Creek, same thing. Same thing, different state. I don't know where they call it differently. It's the same thing. Alright, I'm going to thin these now because I don't want to be thinning these ears after it's been notched. Especially when I need to put a lot of pressure on this to get anything to happen. To get a response, requires lots of pressure. Just a little bitty flake, that's it. Can do better than that. It's going to be fun to notch it, that's for sure. Okay, the other side's alright. It's not too bad. Okay, this is when an Ishii stick notcher would come in handy, but I don't have one. So I'm just going to have to power through this. And if they stall, I'll just widen them out. All right. Just want to get these started. Probably have to stop the video. Well, it's going to stop me, and then continue on the next one. But at least I got these started. Yeah. Okay, I'll continue on the next segment.